Oh, we've already talked. For both of us, we want to make sure.
Yeah, because the next time.
Yeah.
I have a change.
Okay, we are gonna get started now.
Of course.
So we check the code. Okay, we're recording. Perfect. Okay, so good afternoon. It is December 19th, and this is the zoning administrator hearing for the city of South San Francisco. My name is Adina Friedman, and I'll be serving as the zoning administrator for this hearing. On today's agenda, we have 2 items. I will ask the project planner to present their items in just a minute, and we'll hear an overview of the project, after which we will open the public hearing and invite the applicant to present any additional information they have on the project. Please state your name for the record when you're speaking. After the applicant has the opportunity to present, any members of the public that wish to comment may do so by letting the clerk know, and I will call on you. Once we've received public input, we will close the public hearing portion of this meeting. Once the public hearing is closed, this ends the public input for that item, and letters or testimony received up to this point will be part of the administrative record. The purpose of this meeting will be to gather information, receive public testimony, and ask questions about the project. A preliminary decision may be rendered at this hearing today, and formal letter of approval or disapproval will follow, or the zoning administrator may render a decision today. Either way, a formal letter will follow. Zoning administrative decisions are documented in a letter called a notice of action. There's a 15-day appeal period that starts from the date shown on the notice of action. If you have any questions about appeals, the appeal process, or the outcome of your hearing, please talk to your project planner, me, or the city clerk. Appeals that are not filed properly cannot be accepted. There is a nominal fee and paperwork that needs to be filed with the city clerk. Do we have any questions before we begin? No? Okay. So item number 1 is public comment. Members of the public may speak on any item not listed on the agenda and on any items listed under the consent calendar. We don't have a consent calendar today. Okay, do we have any public comments? I do not see any members of the public. We have not received any emails or voicemails. All right, so item number 1 is report regarding consideration of a minor use permit to allow 6-foot tall fencing and gates at 1333 Lowry Avenue in the mixed industrial high zoning district in accordance with Title 20 of the South San Francisco Municipal Code, and determination that the project is categorically exempt from CEQA Class 1, Section 15301. And we have had a request from the project applicant to continue this meeting as they are not available to attend today. So this item, to continue this item. So this item is going to be continued to a date certain of January 7th, 2025. So we'll hear this meeting in January, hear that item in January. Item number 2, I guess I should actually open the public hearing. So that's item number 1. I am going to open the public hearing. And then I will restate that this item there's been a request to continue. Do we have any public comments on item number 1? Okay, seeing none, I am going to close the public hearing and continue to January 7th, 2025. Okay. Item number 2 is a report regarding consideration of a minor use permit to allow handicraft, custom manufacturing, and clean technology uses at 619 Airport Boulevard and 111 Pine Avenue in the T3 Corridor Zoning District in accordance with Title 20 of the South San Francisco Municipal Code, and determination that the project is categorically exempt from CEQA. And Stephanie Skangis is going to give the staff report. And with that, I am going to open the public hearing.
Thank you, zoning administrator. Stephanie Skangis, senior planner with the city. Today before you, we have a requested minor use permit for 619 Airport Boulevard and 111 Pine Avenue. The project site is located at 619 Airport Boulevard and 111 Pine Avenue and consists of 2 parcels. Let's see. I don't know. How do you play on? consists of two parcels. We have the corner parcel. This is the address parcel of 619 Airport and 111 Pine. This is a corner and through lot with frontages on Airport, Pine and Cypress Avenues. There's an existing 13,249 square foot, one-story building with 2 suites on this parcel. 619 Airport is currently vacant, but was most recently occupied by an automobile vehicle service and repair use. 111 Pine Avenue is existing office space for Mitra, who are the applicants for this application. The second APN is, there is no address associated with this. It's APN 012-176-020. It's a through lot with frontages on Airport Boulevard and Cypress Avenue. It contains an existing surface parking lot for the existing building. Entry is off of Airport and egress is off of Cypress. The current parking lot, just to note, is, used to park cars, but there are no striped stalls or whatnot currently. The project site is surrounded by an existing hotel to the north, residential buildings to the west, commercial uses to the south, and then US Highway 101 to the east. So the applicant Mitra has submitted an minor use permit request to operate their business. It includes office engineering, light mechanical assembly, and product testing. This qualifies as a handicraft custom manufacturing use under our zoning code use classifications definitions. In addition to the request for the handicraft custom manufacturing use, there is a request to potentially include a clean technology use at some point in the future. So the proposal is really just for change of use at this location within the 2 suites. There are minor exterior improvements proposed, which include repainting a portion of the building to create a more uniformed building facade. Right now it is 2 different paint colors, as well as striping of the parking lot in accordance with zoning requirements for parking stall widths, size, aisle widths, and whatnot. And also an installation of new fencing and gates for the parking area. There is no interior work proposed at this time. So the project site is located in our T3 corridor zoning district, T3C. It is adjacent to our downtown residential high zoning district to the left. And then there's a pocket of, I apologize, park and recreation to the northwest of the site. Let us continue on with the zoning. Under table 20.135.060.b.1 of the zoning code, which discusses uses allowed in the transect zoning districts, you see I've highlighted clean technology and handicraft custom manufacturing are both uses that are allowed within this zoning district upon approval of a minor use permit. Staff would like to notate in regards to required parking spaces, these are mandated by section 20 or regulated by section 20.330.04004 of the zoning code. In this section, we have a requirement within transit station areas, and staff, sorry, would like to just scroll back. You don't see it, but just to the southeast of the site is an existing Caltrain, the new Caltrain station. And the site is also located within what we would define as a transit station area. It's located in an area that is considered a transit corridor, is located within a half-mile radius of active public transit, which is bus stops or train stops with routes that run at least every 15 minutes. And so because the area is located within a transit station area, there is no requirement for parking. And this is in accordance with State Assembly Bill 2097. So technically for this project and this change of use, there is no requirement for parking. However, as staff stated, there is an existing parking area adjacent to the building. And as part of the project, they will be restriping and creating 5 parallel parking spaces. The parking area will be a one-way drive with access off airport and then the exit onto Cypress Avenue, thank you. And so, and these parking spaces have been reviewed and they comply with minimum size, depth width requirements, as well as the minimum aisle width requirements. Because the project is a proposed change of use, there is no exterior work proposed, only minor exterior work, I apologize. No big construction. It qualifies as an exemption under CEQA, and staff has reviewed it and feels that the class 1 exemption of existing facilities is applicable to this project. Staff would like to also notate that they have reviewed the proposed operations of what will be occurring at the site and confirm that the proposed operations fit within the custom handicraft manufacturing classification in the zoning code, and has reviewed these against the required findings for minor use permits and found it to be in compliance. And that could be found in attachment 1 to the staff report, as well as staff is implementing or recommending some conditions of approval to confirm that the proposed use will continue to be in compliance with the requirements, and those draft conditions of approval can be found in attachment 2. One last comment staff would like to make. At this time, Mitra is the applicant, and they are doing the handicraft custom manufacturing use. Per the request of the property owners, we've incorporated a potential for a future clean technology use. And staff feels that the same findings could be made for that use as well. And a condition of approval has been incorporated that would require any new business or proposed use at this site during their required business license application, which is required for all new businesses operating in the city, that in addition to the business application, license application, they would submit a write-up of how the proposed use fits within the clean technology, or if they're continuing the handicraft custom manufacturing, how it fits within that use classification, and staff will review that to confirm, and that's should suffice for approval of business license. So this minor use permit request would cover both uses. With that, staff would like to recommend that the zoning administrator determine that the project is exempt from CEQA, as well as approve the requested entitlement of the minor use permits. This concludes staff's presentation. The applicant and property owners are available if they'd like to say anything, or we're all available for questions.
Great, thank you so much. So I have a few questions for Stephanie. Have you gotten any comments, letters, or emails, phone calls?
I have not received any correspondence in regards to this application.
Great, thank you. And then my next question is there any signage included in this proposal?
There was mention of potential signage, but it's not included in this request. So there has been a condition of approval incorporated that any signage proposal would need to go through the proper sign permit and building permit requirements.
Okay, great, thank you. I don't have any other questions right now, and I do want to turn this over to the applicant to see if you have any comments, anything you would like to say about the proposal before we move forward.
I've said a lot with Stephanie over the last
Yeah,
few
We've
months.
spoken to Stephanie too on the phone,
So I think I
my
have
brother
all
and
the
I, so I don't think we
questions
have any.
But thanks for asking you. I think we've covered everything. The only big condition that I see there is the fire sprinkler requirement. I understand. I spoke to the fire marshal as well to understand how and why and how that's needed. It's logical, but I don't see any other.
With that
Questions?
condition of approval from the fire department, are there specific guidelines that they give to a sprinkler contractor or?
They will, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you reach out to the fire marshal, he'll definitely give you exactly what he needs in terms of what the fire code requires. You should be able to give it to a consultant and be able to fit it out.
I have a question, just more on the language here. When you said the use complies, but then you say exempt from CEQA, but I didn't quite understand how that works. Is that-
Yeah, so environmental review is required for any project or as
Discretionary
defined, any
approval, yeah.
discretionary approval. And there are certain exemptions that certain projects fall within, so the project complies with the
Exemption.
yes, with the
Okay.
exemption.
Okay,
It
that
falls
makes sense.
under the exemption. But then also there may be some confusion. In addition to falling under the exemption, it complies with the use permit, minor use permit findings. So they're two separate things.
Okay,
To any other business, if they're doing, I mean, I'm just trying to help you, but I know that, but if they're doing some manufacturing some, let's say battery use, I'm just thinking of solar power or whatever, does that qualify as clean technology? They just have to write a narrative when they apply for the business license that yes, we comply with the clean technology definition of the business. Yes,
Okay.
that's the other piece, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think I have any questions for the applicant at this time. Do we have any comments from the public? We have not received any comments from the public, so I am going to close the public hearing at this time. I don't have any additional questions. I think Stephanie did a very thorough job, which I appreciate. You really answered all the questions. Very happy to see that this minor use permit includes both handicraft and clean technology because it allows flexibility for the use, which is great. So somebody in the future could come in, and that the parking is coming into compliance. So it seems like a really good path forward for this use. So with that, I am going to make a decision to approve the minor use permit request based on the findings of fact, accepting the conditions of approval and for the CEQA guidelines. So with that, I am going to close the meeting. We're going to adjourn the meeting, and so we are adjourning the meeting at 2:24, and we will stop the recording. Perfect.